stitch and simulate garments before touching real fabric. And this digital 3D is used globally by top fashion brands, including us at TOPTS Tailoring Studio. We use it to test designs quickly before touching the real fabric. And this method helps us to save fabric, time and costs, most especially for you tailors and seamstresses who are working on samples or you are working on customers' orders. This software is for us. In real tailoring, my people, one cutting mistake means wasted fabric. You know this. But in 3D digital design, you can design, test and adjust it before cutting a single thread. So once you embrace this method, it's the future of smart fashion. There are points that I need you to know. In real tailoring, we measure, we draft, we cut and sew. But in digital fashion, the process and simulate garments before touching real fabric. One of it is this digital 3D is used globally by top fashion brands, including us at TOPTS Tailoring Studio. Fabric we use it to test designs quickly before touching the real fabric. Okay? And this means in 3D digital design doesn't replace real tailoring. It just enhances it. It gives it power. As we said earlier on, it helps us to save fabric wastage, time and costs. So ladies and gentlemen, let us embrace this digital design or digital fashion design, because it doesn't replace real tailoring. It just enhances it. And it's like seeing your finished outfit before you even start cutting fabric. You see how it is even looking in the video. You see, you see the real outfit before cutting it on fabric. So if you're very interested in this, it's very simple. Here I'm using CLO 3D. I open it, and now when you have opened, you create and then you load a basic avatar. After loading your basic avatar, you explore tools like polygon, internal lines, sewing, and save workspace. We will start simply in this journey. We will start simply learning how to navigate CLO 3D, draft basic patterns, and simulate realistic garments. In each episode, of course, we are going to categorize this into episodes. So in each episode, we will move closer to professional level 3D design. If you have ever used a ruler, chalk and scissors before CLO 3D tools, you will actually look familiar. It will be familiar because it is what you do in the other side is what is done on this side. Here you are just sewing in pixels or digitally. What should you expect in this journey that we are starting, or CLO 3D series? Ladies and gentlemen, in this journey, please, what you need to expect is we will start with the basic tools, fabric and simple garments, then move into intermediate dresses, jacket and blazers. Later on, we will learn advanced techniques, runway animations, African print simulations, and real garment conversion. Then finally, we will connect it all to your workspace or workshop, where digital and physical designs meet. Hey, yeah, this is where the climax is going to be. As I've told you that finally we will connect it to all your workshop, where digital and physical designs meet. What you should know is this isn't just about a software. It's about transforming the art of tailoring into the language of fashion technology. I want to thank you for joining me for episode 1 of this journey. If you are passionate about tailoring, fashion design, or learning new technology, this is your home. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment what you love to learn next. As for today, allow me to say thank you so much for listening, exploring, and learning something at TOPTS Tailoring Studio. We saw dreams into reality. So please come to with us. So episode 1, as you saw from the introduction, welcome to Tailoring Studio. In this episode, I begin my journey from traditional tailoring to digital fashion using Cloth 3D, the powerful tools or powerful software used by top designers worldwide. Join me as I explore how digital tailoring saves time, fabric, and improves design precision. Subscribe for weekly tutorials on this sewing and fashion business. Okay, episode 2, getting started in Cloth 3D interface and basic tools for beginners. And this video I dedicate to you, our subscriber, that is none other than at MBALE, if I've pronounced it well. In one of my digital fashion videos, you commented, "Yes sir, happy new year to your school." From Boston. Oh my God, that's from Boston, USA. Thank you so much, my dear. You didn't only end there, you went further by wishing us peace and many blessings to come in 2026. Our followers, indeed, thank you so much for the wish. And here also we say, may the Almighty do the same to you. Thank you so much, and thank you so much indeed. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time or you are a returning viewer, allow me to welcome you back to TOPTS Tailoring Studio. Today, we are starting our real first lesson in 3D digital fashion journey. Ladies and gentlemen, learning the interface, the tools, and how to move around this digital workspace is very important to all of us. You need to understand this. Then also, I know you are having fear, but if this is your first time to open this software, please don't worry. Actually, I repeat, don't worry. I'll guide you step by step, just like the way we do in real tailoring. Without wasting time, my people, let us get started. We are going to begin with opening Cloth 3D and setting up your workspace. So, how do you open Cloth 3D? You come to File, your interface is open like this, but now you want to change to a different or a new project. So just come to File, you left click, then click New, then give it load. Then you will be having this type of space, and this is our digital workspace with the following main panels. Before we navigate or before we go looking into panels, let me load in the avatar so that we are able to differentiate. We are able to understand what we will be talking in this episode. It is easy for us to explain. Boom. Now our avatar is loaded. We are going to, it will enable us to explain every detail to our attention. So this is our digital workspace with the following main windows. First, we are going to look at the main windows and the toolbar panels. Main windows and the toolbar panels. So at the left hand center of your screen, which is here, is our 3D window, and this is where our garments are visualized on avatars. Then at the top here is our 3D tools. We are going to look at each tool in details. Then when we come to the left, when we come to the right hand center of your screen, which is here. We have the 2D window. Then this 2D window is where the drafting and the editing of patterns is done. Then when we go on the top of our 2D window are the 2D tools, which will still look at each tool in details. Now when we go further to the bottom right hand corner of our screen, which is down here, you will be seeing the three. One is 3D stroke 2D window, then another one is the 2D, actually another one is the 3D window, then this one is the 2D window. What do they do? Let us see. Like right now we have selected the toggle of 3 stroke 2D window. That means you're able to see this 3D window as well as the 2D window at the same time. But if we go to the middle one, which is the 3D window, when we click on it, we will only toggle the visibility of the 2D window, of the 3D window, like this. So you see here now we are only seeing the 3D window. That means the 2D window is not visible in our screen. Then the same thing when we click on the 2D window here like this, you will only be seeing the visibility, or you will only be viewing the 2D windows in this format. Now after we have seen that, let us turn it back to 3D stroke 2D window view in this format. Then let me return it in this format. So this one's all what I'm doing. You will learn in the process. So after we have seen the 2D window with their tools, now we go to look at the materials. So the material, that is the object browser and the property editor. In object browser, when you click it once, left click it once, it will display, or it will drop down this, and this is where a list of built-in materials, for example, it houses the fabrics, graphics, buttons, buttonholes, top stitchings, packerings, trims, gradings. So this is where we find these tools. Then also, and many others. Not only that, there are many others that this object browser houses. Then when we go to property editor, which is this, when you click on it, of course you're seeing the drop down. It's here and it's empty. Now this is where you adjust measurements and fabric settings. So for example, if we want to adjust fabric settings, you come to either the 2D window or the 3D window. You select any fabric of your choice. What you do in 2D is being reflected in what you do in 3D is being reflected in the 2D window. For example, if we want to change the property settings of our pattern, this pattern in a property editor, you just click on it, and then boom, you see the drop down menu of settings come. Then you now choose. So for example, let us change the color of this fabric from red to black. Boom, you see. Or even this one, when we change it from yellow to red, boom, you see. That is how it is done. Let us return back our default. This one was red, this one was yellow, and then this one was red. So we have returned it back to our default setting of the fabric. Now this property editor we are done with looking at how we do or what is inside, and we shall, in the process, we shall be looking each and every tool in this property editor in details. So after you have got familiar with that, we go ahead and look at the other windows that we need in this software, that we need to learn in this software. When you come to the top left, plugin, avatars, trouser, tops, natural, tops plugins. These are folders that I've just uploaded from my computer. You can also do the same. Then the plus icon, of course, I said it helps you to navigate to the folder you want to add from your computer. Then select, then browse. Then we have the download button, which is this one. This download button helps you to download defaults that you haven't downloaded from the software, and this you must be connected to internet before you are downloading those default assets from there. When you're downloading these default assets from the software, then how do you open a folder in CLO 3D? For example, right now we want to load something. To open the aperture, to open the folder, you just double click. For example, I double click, then you double click, then you double click, then it takes you to the inside elements that are in that folder. Then to go back, you come back to this dotted lines, two dotted lines, you double click, it goes back, double click, then it goes back in that format. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all about the library. Then we go to before we proceed, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand this. When you think of the 2D window as your cutting table, which is this one, and you collapse this one's back, I collapse this one also back. So ladies and gentlemen, when you're working with this software, you need to think of the 2D as your cutting table, because this is where you draft your pieces. Then in the 3D window, you need to think of it as your mankind. The mankind, because this is where you test, fit, and visualize the final garments. Yes, this is where you test, fit, and visualize the final garment. But this is what you need to know. 2D and 3D windows work simultaneously, but each window allows you to view the items in different states. Then to adjust them, you have your mouse here like this, as you see this arrows that are facing left and right. Then it helps you, or it allows you to adjust the size of these two windows accordingly. For example, if I want to adjust the window of 2D, I drag it, I hold and drag it this side. Now you see the window of 2D is it has been adjusted to this size. And if I want to adjust the 3D, still I do the same. I hover my mouse like this, then I adjust it. So that's all how it is done in these two windows, hovering it in that format. Then before we proceed, allow me to give you the bonus. As you know, we have finished seeing the main windows and configurations. Let me take you through the extra things that you must know in this window. At the top here is the menu bar of CLO 3D workspace, and each menu bar has a drop down option. For example, if you click on file, it has a drop down menu of different items. Then when you go to edit, it has also a drop down menu of different items. When you go to 3D, 2D, sewing, materials, editor, avatars, rendering, display, preference, settings, and you can even go further by requesting for help from this menu. You have manual, online tutorials, questions, community, show what, everything is found on the top here at the menu bar here. Then also we have on the extreme left hand corner of our screen, or left hand side of our screen, is the history. So history here, when you click on it, it helps you to, it displays the activities that you've been doing since you started this project. Like when we opened this project, we went to selection, assign, selection, this. So when I click on it, it takes me where I was changing these colors when I was teaching you about property editor. Then when I hover to there, it brings me to the current state that we are in, that is in the history. Now to return it back, you see this arrow, you just click on it, it returns it back it returns it back to a dockable, to dock it back to the sides. Then also we have the modular configurator. The modular configurator allows you to match garments blocks in this format. So you just click on it, then it is displayed. Here we have folded man and women. So when we click on man, or when we click on any of this, you will see what is inside. As I told you, to open the folder in Cloth 3D, you double click. Now here I double click, then it displays this. That means these are the folders that are in woman of the configurator. Now in the woman of the configurator, when you double click still, you will see that it pops in these items of this category. So now these are default garments that come with the software. Now the next thing that we're going to look at in this workspace as our extra bonus is the vertical toggle menu. At the top left hand corner of each window, we have the vertical toggle menus that allows us to show and hide different attributes in both 3D and 2D windows. For example, in 2D we have the 2D sewing display. We have garment details, pattern options, information measurements, different options for viewing the texture of pieces. So everything is here in our vertical toggle menu. Then when we come to the left hand corner, top corner of our 2D, we have this vertical toggle menu, of which it has the following attributes. We have garment detail, avatars, fabric, fit, map, and options for viewing textures in different angles. So this toggle menu. Now we are done with the knowing how to set up our workspace or opening our workspace. Now the next thing that we're going to do is understanding the tools. So understanding the tools, each tool here has a real world of tailoring purpose. For example, polygon tool. Here is the polygon tool. Let me create a new window. Let me first create a new window and then load in the aperture. Load in the aperture so that you are able to see what we are talking of. Understanding the so next step is understanding the tools, isn't it? And then each on the rectangle, ellipse, spiral. So and this polygon tool is our pattern paper. The polygon tool is our pattern paper, and it's used for drawing patterns, outlines, like drafting on paper. So if I click here and then I just draft, I click, then I drag it in that format. So understanding the tools, each tool here has a real world of tailoring purpose. For example, polygon tool. Here is the polygon tool. Let me create a new window. Let me first create a new window and then load in the aperture. Load in the aperture so that you are able to see what we are talking of. Understanding the So next step is understanding the tools, isn't it? And then each tool here has a real world of tailoring purpose. For example, when you look at the polygon tool here, the polygon tool, it has the polygon, the rectangle, ellipse, spiral. So, and this polygon tool is our pattern paper. The polygon tool is our pattern paper, and it's used for drawing patterns outlines like drafting on paper. So if I click here and then I just draft, I click, then I drag it in that format, a dim already, you see it has given us a pattern paper. So that is our work of a polygon tool. Then also we have the edit pattern tool. This one, edit pattern tool, when you click on it, it has edit pattern, transform point segments, edit curve points, edit curvatures, smooth curve, and then add point stroke split, and it has the shortcuts of this in the keyboard, so you can either click on them or you press these shortcuts in your keyboard. Then also we have the internal line tools, which is this. So in these internal line tools, this is where we create design lines such as the dots and the pleats. Here is where we do that magic. Then also we have another one is the segment sewing tool. So the segment sewing tool are here. We have the edit sewing, they have sewing, segment sewing, we have free sewing, we have check sewing lengths. So, and this area here is our threaded needle, or is our needle and the thread, and it's where we sew one edge to another. Then last one in this class that I need you to understand is fold arrangement tool. So fold arrangement tool, it helps us to position pattern pieces on the aperture. This fold arrangement tool, we shall look at each tool in detail in the process as we are continuing. Now ladies and gentlemen, we have seen some of the tools that you need to know. Now the next thing is we are going to create our first pattern using the above examples that we have done. So I will zoom in here. Since we said it's drafting, what I will be doing from here is what is going to be reflected in this. So I choose the polygon tool, then I choose the polygon that is going to give me the pencil, and then I draw my avatar like this. I draw my pattern like this. Boom. You see, now we have got it. Then I'm going to open, I come to edit, I right click, then I unfold it. Now this is our front part of the basic skirt that we are looking at. Then now we are going to copy this, we copy it symmetric with the folding to the back. Now this one is going to be for the back. Now we take it to the back like this. So let's change it so that it faces like that. Now we are finished to identify or to draft our basic we have finished to draft our basic pattern. Then we are going to use segment tool for sewing it. So we come here, you see the segment sewing, you are going to choose the segment sewing N in your keyboard. Then you're going to sew the edges like this. Then also you sew this side, the edges of this side like this. You see, what you do in 3D is being reflected in 2D. We can still do it from this side, or you can do it from this side like this. So like that. Then now you can still press here, or you press space bar to simulate this into your avatar like this. Boom. You see, it has happened. It has happened. Now you've watched how the fabric drapes to the avatar. Now in real life, this would be our two pieces fabric. One is the front and the other one is the back. As you can see, this is the back, this is the front. That will be in real life, but in 3D the computer becomes our sewing machine. Like the way you've seen, we have already sewn our clothes together. So to change fabric, just click on the pattern like this, then head over to property editor, to select fabric presets like cotton or denim. So now when we come to here, you see we have fabric 1, which is cotton, or when you come here you have the trims. So what property editor, fabric mate, you can see, you come to fabric mate, then you can choose which type you want, a metal fabric. If you want metallic, you still get it. If you want metallic fabric, you still get it. And then, so that's how it is done. In this, you can choose any of anything that you wish. What you need to understand in this software is different fabrics behave differently. Even in real tailoring, you know that different fabrics behave differently. So even in digital tailoring, it is the same. So try switching between cotton, satin, and denim to see the drape changes instantly. Okay, you try changing the fabric mate so that you see how the fabric drapes instantly. Are we together? So ladies and gentlemen, you have finished to see what we have been seeing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we have finished to see everything in the workspace, the next step that I want you to understand is I want you to know how to navigate and customize the workspace. First of all, we are going to look at the rotate view. How do you rotate the view of this? Here we are using a 3 mouse click, which is the left click, the scroll or the wheel, and the right click. So to scroll or to rotate the view of this, just hold on right click of your mouse, and then you drag it in the way that you want. Drag it. In case if you are doing the dragging and you misplace, you don't know how to come back and you want to come back to where you were, please don't worry, just do this. Right click on empty or in the workspace here, then you choose any of these. So if I want it to face the front, I click front, or you click 2 in your keyboard, then it will go back to the normal. Then if you want it to face behind, because if you drag you cannot get the real behind, the only thing that you do is you right click on this free space, then click on back. If you want it to be viewed from the side, like the same. If you want it to be viewed from the top, like that. If you want it to be viewed from the bottom, like that. If you want it to be viewed from any, this is where you choose those settings here. From here go. Then right now we want to return it back to be viewed from the front, so like this. Then this car rotate only applies to 3D window. It is not applicable to a 2D window. Then another thing that we need to see is the zoom. How do you zoom something in and out? So we use the scroll. You are using the mouse, so you use the scroll, the mouse wheel here, the scroll mouse wheel. Then you zoom out. You're zooming out like that. Then zooming in, we zoom it in like this. So using the scroll wheel, just play along with the scroll wheel, you will get familiar with what we are doing. So that is the zoom in 3D window. So in the 2D window it's the same. So that means the scroll wheel does the same both in the 2D and the 3D window. So if we zoom in like this, scroll wheel, then in the 2D window, like the way we did in the 3D window, if you misplace your patterns and you don't know where they are, just right click on this free space, then come at the bottom here, and then you say zoom extends all like this. It will come back to the default settings that you were in at first. Then to pan, that means to move it like this. You hold your middle, you hold your middle mouse button. You hold your middle mouse button, that's the scroll mouse button. You hold it and you start panning it in this format. Also, the same panning in 2D window is done the same format. You can pan it using by holding your middle mouse button, that's the scroll one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all what we have had there. And then customization. How do you customize? For example, changing the background. Let us go back to 3D. This one is only applicable to 3D. So changing the background, you just need to change the visibility. You see now the background is in this format, but you don't want that. You want it in different format. So you just right click, then in free space, then you choose, come here, format 3D background, then boom, it will drop up. It will pop up this menu where when you choose the solid, it will be like that, solid. And then from solid, that's when you go and choose color of your choice. You choose color of your choice in solid. So let me say I want a blue, this color background. I click done, boom, you see it takes it in that height. Maybe I want it in a default format. You come here, or you have a picture, or you have the image in your computer, just come at this button, then you click, it will take you to the computer and navigate to the folders that you want, or the images that you want to be brought. So for example, I want to bring, which image should I bring? I want to bring this TOPTS girl as my background. You see, I click OK. So already that's what I have. So if I want to extend this so that you're able to see this TOPTS girl, I hold my middle button of the mouse, that's the scroll, then I hover it like this, or I pan it like this, extend it to the side or the side, so image remains instant. You're getting it? You're seeing how we are doing it? So that is how everything is done. Let us return it back to our default background settings, of which I do reset. Press enter, bring back, then I view all the windows simultaneously. So ladies and gentlemen, and then also how do you adjust avatar poses and garment arrangements? So how do you adjust avatar poses? So adjusting avatar poses, you saw this vertical toggle menu on the right hand corner, on the left hand corner of your screen. You just have to select, come to avatar display, then when you click on this where I show x-rays and joints, it helps us to adjust avatar pose and it is garments. So when I click on it, I want to make my avatar raise the hand, avatar, that avatar raise the hand, avatar raises the hand, avatar bring the hands, cross your hands, avatar crosses the hands. So let us see what crossing the hands. So we have crossed her hands in that format. So that is inhuman. How it's not good to make the hands be like that. Then also you can still customize your tool menu on the left side or on the right, or wherever you want it to be. For example, if I come to settings here, I hover to user settings, it will drop down this settings, so I can still go ahead and choose which one do I want. Do I want my things units to be user interface? Come to user interface, then I choose on top or on the side. So like the 3D toolbar, let me put it at the bottom. Then a 2D toolbar, let me put it on the left. Then the inches, you can still change the units from here according to how you want it to be done. The font, everything is done from here with the font that you want. The internal line colors, everything are done from here. And then when I click OK, when I click close, everything is taken to where it belonged. So you remember I displayed this to the right, to the bottom. This one I placed it on the left. Now you see how everything is changed. But if you still want all of them to be on the top, just come to your settings, user, then wait, it gives you that, then come to user interface. User interface, you return them top. I put this one top. Then the group, I click or close. Boom, it goes back to where I want it to be. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what we had for you today. And what I need you to know is getting comfortable with navigating or with the navigations in 3D will make your workflow faster. Okay, it's just like knowing where your tailor's tape measure or chalk or tailor's scissors always sit. I know you know where they always sit, so that's what we also need to get familiar with in this journey of our 3D digital fashion design. Now, so ladies and gentlemen, and that is now it for episode 2, your first steps in CLO 3D. Today I know you have learned how to move around the interface, use basic tools, and simulate your first pattern. In our next episode, we will design a basic dress in CLO 3D, and we shall see how we are drafting, sewing, and texturing it in a step-by-step format. So ladies and gentlemen, before we hang or before we end this, please, have you liked it? Have you liked this? Have you subscribed? If you haven't, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with other designers and tailors / seamstresses. Please let us share this to make this channel grow. And my target, I want us to reach 10,000 subscribers. I will be happy if we make 10,000 subscribers. At TOPTS Tailoring Studio, we promise we are going to sew dreams into digital reality. Okay, that's what I had for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I see you in episode 3 as we will be drafting our first garments. Thank you so much for watching and viewing. Bye bye. Shalom. May the Almighty God bless you all.